football is the fastest growing sport among the urban population, and whether it is high net worth population or the middle class, their children, 6 out of 10 wants to be part of football.
Everybody has a hangover of cricket. Everybody has a big time hangover of cricket कि बस cricket ही सब कुछ है. And football is one of those sport which is acclaimed globally. Like people are big fans. How do you think the football has been treated in India?
India has human capital, has proved whether the CEOs, big MNCs you see, it is Indians. Our human capital is in demand in all sector, whether engineering, medical.
कभी ऐसा होता है कि भाई तू गोल पे खड़ा रहा है मैं शूट करूंगा just take care of
no, it last it happened was when I was managing the national team, I think 2008. We played with the national team players, but very just for fun. We are demonstrating to the world we have the capability, we have the competency. If we get the opportunity, we can deliver. We need to see that our people, especially children, they grow as an individual who are fit, who are healthy, and who can create value for the country.
Alright, on this brand new episode of Wassup Aabir, I'm ABP Lahiry. Joining me today in conversation is somebody who will talk in and out about football with me, and this is one sport which I have no clue about. I won't say no clue about, I have played it for a while, but for the lack of a better word, I suck at it. So Shaji Prabhakaran, he's the General Secretary for All India Football Federation, is with me. What's up? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Before we dig deep into the world of football, I would love to know about your journey into football. I know that you have played for a bit, and journey अच्छी रही है, I'm sure, because that's the reason you are managing the big Indian football team. Why don't you take us through the journey? Like कहाँ से football आया life में?
It's I'm very fortunate. I've brought up in a place in the north part of Bengal.
Okay.
And where football was big.
You worship football there, I guess.
And very young age, we could start play football, and the best part was that there was a football pitch 500 meters away from home.
Wow.
And then we could not resist, football from very young age, and that's how.
तब तो जूता उता भी नहीं होता होगा, नंगे पैर ही खेलते होगे.
Even that is what the real football is.
True.
When you play on the street, and then you get a good facility sometime. But at that time, at that level, most of us would play barefoot, and maybe we'll bandage our ankles to prevent some injury.
True.
But then it is not the best of condition. Even the pitch was not level, but we fell in love with the game, and that is where all this journey started, and very fortunate that it is still on.
And I wish that it always go on and on. Are you on one of those people who also fetish like playing when it's raining? चलो एकदम गड्ढे वड्ढे हो, पानी वानी है तब खेलते हैं.
Yeah, it's whether rain, whether it is even the pitch is flooded
with water, yeah.
Whatever, it was like football, and we all are there to play, and whatever condition. And even if our eyes are closed because the rain is so heavy, but that was really the moment I would like to go back because that's the freedom, that's the fun, that's where we get the real, what I say, like
the kick,
what you have rightly said, and then all the friends coming together and doing whatever possible, with on that pitch, whatever condition it may be. And yeah, that's really in the life, I would like to live
You,
again.
you are one of the flag bearers of the Indian football. Do you still get time to play?
Yeah, whenever, on Saturdays or Sundays, if I am in Delhi, then, morning I would like to go and play,
Play.
at least for 1 hour.
And now you have good company, certainly. Like the top players of the country are your friends, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they are professional, but I can't really think of playing with them because they have to protect themselves, and I have to really respect.
कभी ऐसा होता है कि अरे भाई तू गोल पे खड़ा रहा है मैं शूट करूंगा just take care of
No,
the
last it happened was when I was managing the national team. I think 2008. Yeah, we played with the national team players, but very just for fun. That was last, but then now definitely I don't see any opportunity unless we are having a long camp where they have some free time to
Agreed.
have fun. Yeah.
And they have rigorous practice routine, right?
Absolutely, that's they are professional. It's very well planned.
Makes sense.
They every minute matters.
Okay. Before planning this podcast, I was thinking like I should ask you about the past, present, and future of Indian football. So let's start with past. How do you think the football has been treated in India? Because everybody has a hangover of cricket. Everybody has a big time hangover of cricket कि बस cricket ही सब कुछ है. And football is one of those sport which is acclaimed globally. Like people are big fans. You see very few patches of Indian land where football is celebrated like anything. Like Bengal is there, Kerala is there, Goa is there, and few other parts. But in general, as a whole, football को उतनी इज्जत नहीं मिली जितने cricket को मिली, and it's a very rigorous sport. How do you see that changing, and what has been the scene till date?
Oh no, if you compare, see our golden period of 50s, 60s, definitely, this again the select pockets in Indian football played a big role, no doubt, and now then our sliding back from say 70s to say 90s, this is all where the pains, we felt big pains. True. Where we haven't made much progress, but now is a phase of again we are making progress. That definitely what is happening in Indian football is we have new pockets emerging, and especially the metro cities. It will not be surprising, or it should not surprise anyone for me to say that those in the age group of 5 to 18 or 20, especially in metros, is the most followed sport, is the number one sport.
More than cricket?
Yeah, in terms of participation.
Okay.
And in terms of following, that's no doubt. But then, yeah, we don't have the statistics or data to showcase, but my experience seeing, witnessing all that last 5-7 years, I can say that football is the fastest growing sport among the urban population, and whether it is high net worth population or the middle class, their children, 6 out of 10 wants to be part of football. And every day, there is not a day I am not receiving a call where these parents are reaching out to me, where my son or a daughter can play football, or how they should pursue their career, and that was not the case, say 7-8 years back, which is very encouraging, and that's where football is able to, I think, create a space, and no doubt cricket is number one sport, and it might be for long, but the good thing is football is gaining its popularity, participation, investment, following, everything, and that way it's an encouraging situation.
Makes sense. Since you were saying, this is more of a personal question to you. When you see a lot of people are actually hooked on to mobile phones, the Gen Zs, not mainly the millennials, but Gen Zs are primarily into mobile phone and this and that, and outdoor sport has actually seen a decline. Now you don't see people or kids going out in the field. Don't you see that's a saddening state? Because यार जाके खेलो वो real fun है.
Yeah, if you see the gaming numbers or esport numbers is definitely growing very fast, but it is our responsibility and also should be the government responsibility and the society to come together to see that they also have this game time outside this digital world, because we need to see that our people, especially children, they grow as an individual who are fit, who are healthy, and who can create value for the country and definitely be a productive citizen. And that way our responsibility is much more. Yeah, and that is where our policies, especially at school, we need to see that, because they need to really move their extremities, the arms, legs,
True.
and that is as required as play with the brain. It is, with mobile, with digital, access to digital infrastructure. A smartphone is a good thing because your learning capabilities, your skill sets are growing, no doubt. But then the balance has to exist. If you are stationary, if you are sedentary, you are only developing your the
Mentally,
mind,
yeah.
and but if you are not fit enough, if you are you will not be able to achieve your potential.
True.
And that is why sports, the outdoor sports, the sports which has got movement, you need to inculcate in children, and that's where it should be an integral part of education.
True.
In the school, more so than a decade back.
True.
Because we need to secure our children so that they can be healthy. Because the medical bills, the cost of health, government have to control.
True.
It cannot be that it goes out of the hand, then we will be in a situation where our maximum budget will go on health sector, and which won't be a productive situation.
True.
And this is all need to be taken into consideration while framing the policies, which is very important. Therefore, we need more outdoor playing arenas. We need community facilities, community sports facilities. Every like say sector, it's like a Dwarka, there are every sector. It is again one of the best part of Delhi, where you have most sports complexes, and that is where in the parks we need to see that dedicated playing space should be available.
But I guess that model has to be replicated across India, right?
Exactly, because this has to come, and this has to be priority, considering what we will face challenges 10 years later, because it will be too late then.
Glad you said this. Actually, I was not expecting this answer. कि अगर ये नहीं हुआ तो health बढ़ेगा कभी ना कभी, और somewhere down the line we have to create a balance.
Absolutely.
You are the General Secretary for All India Football Federation. Certainly you guys create policies which will impact a lot, millions of kids. How do you see that football or any other sport, मतलब cricket popular है तो वो तो by default सबको मिल जाता है, but other sports actually growing amongst the kids?
Yeah, no, see, definitely it is our responsibility as a governing body to have the right policies, right structure, and build the capacity in the system and encourage the growth of sport, and particularly football. And therefore, we are trying to develop one by one those policies where we can encourage more participation. We build the capacity of our stakeholders so that they understand what to do and how we can all align in reaching to our vision, because we have our strategic roadmap, Vision 2047, which we have unveiled in January 2023.
This is delivery. My next question was actually this. Yeah. But since you are continuing, please
yes,
say.
Yeah. Because see, that is where we have framed our long-term plans, vision under Vision 2047. And within that, we have so many areas we need to really strengthen. We need to come up with policies, come up with regulations, come up with activities and build the capacity in the system so that we are able to engage more and more children. And that's where by 2047 we will have, we plan to engage 100 million children in football. And by end of 2026 we want to engage 35 million children. That is, it is not that the federation alone can do this. No, we have to, collectively work. Government, state government, municipalities, schools, colleges, clubs, NGOs, all, and most importantly, our state associations all come into play. We have to have the same thought process and build their capacity, understanding, so that they all are, there, doing the right thing to elevate the sport, because this is the number one sport in the world, and of more than 4.5 billion people of this world follow football or are part of football in some or the other way. And we as 1.4 billion plus people have to be part of that. Yeah, and it is good that this number is only growing in India, and we are very sure that we will be able to create that level of atmosphere for football, where there will be big fan following for football, and we will be emerge as one of the popular football playing countries in the world. And we want that our talents go and play across the world, and we want to be the biggest talent hub for football in the world by 2047.
That's more of a utopic situation, but I really hope that happens, because
because see, the India has human capital, has proved. Like whether the CEOs, big MNCs you see, it is Indians. Our human capital is in demand in all sector, whether engineering, medical, or it's art. We are demonstrating to the world we have the capability, we have the competency. If we get the opportunity, we can deliver.
Makes sense.
And football cannot remain back. And we have the talent. What we do with the talent, that's very important. We have to identify talent, we have to give them the opportunity for them to grow, and reach their potential, and that is what we have to do. And that is where we are trying to build that capacity. How many coaches we need, by when, what they will do. This is all part of our strategy. And that's how we are growing the number of coaches. We are trying to grow number of referees, and most importantly, how we can have more women into football. How we have, more girls can play football. Our women's are doing well. If the last two games in the Asian Games, they really competed very well against two higher ranked sides. We could have, with bit of luck, we could have beaten both the teams, Chinese Taipei and Thailand. But that again demonstrates we have the potential to reach there and dominate. So definitely our women's will also grow, and more women's will be part of the game. More girls will start playing football. We need to create that kind of scenario where every girl want to play football.
Makes sense. What do you think is the main challenge or the hindrance जिससे इस sport को is not getting that kind of a recognition, or maybe that kind of a attraction from all the youth or kids?
See, the thing is that for any sport you need role models. Yeah, for football, for India, the role models are the Messis of this world. Yeah, and we also have our own Sunil Chetri,
Bhaichung Bhutia was
even before him, Baichung
Bhutia.
Bhutia, I Am Vision, all those are stars for us. And in this globally competitive world, we need to have a global star.
True.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
and the moment it will happen, everyone's belief, trust towards the game will be, this is the game we have to play. This is the game, we need to be associated. This is the game where, globally people are looking towards India. That is where we need to create. So that is what, because football is a global sport and we need to be seen competing at the global level.
True.
And having global stars. And our players have to play in the big leagues. And that is where the most youth and the parents and the community, society, everyone will think, oh, this is a sport, achieving something, and we also have to be part of it. And that is, where we will reach one day. And the moment that happens, it's everything will be for football, and we will have whatever the challenges we are facing, that all will overcome.
If that happens, you won't give me an interview, that's for sure. You will be too busy, you will be too caught up to give me an interview.
No, absolutely, that's not going to be the case, because since I know you personally for last many years, and therefore see, I can only work 24 hours, and within that we have the responsibility.
At least 1 hour will be dedicated to me. That's
exactly.
Since you were saying, I also had one question. Is infrastructure also a concern, or facilities also a concern? Because when, not specifically about football, but a lot of other sports, like small sports, a lot of times they complain that we don't get the infrastructure and facility. Football certainly needs a very big stadium, training, physiotherapy, this, that, a lot of other things. Is that still a concern?
Yeah, see, we have in some locations, we don't have adequate infrastructure, we don't have adequate number of stadiums of that level, and we also need, we have stadiums good enough, but then we also need to have football specific stadiums, which is very important, and also a lot of training facilities. And also, as I said, community facilities, where kids can go and play.
Learn.
And it is not that one have to travel 1 hour, 2 hours to play, because then after a week, after a month, or after few months, you might stop because you might find something better near to your house. So those are the real challenges. So therefore, as part of the overall, say wellness, creating, a healthy community, healthy society, we need to see that, every, say 5 kilometer, we should have, playing facility for kids. And that should be there as part of the policy. It should not be dedicated to only one sport, but to multiple sport. And that is what we need to think of, we need to bring about, because that is where, as what I was sharing, to create healthy society, we need to have that. We have constraints, if we urban metro cities, because it is very congested, the lands are very expensive, there were playing facilities being converted into housing complexes or parking, whatever, but we can't afford consistently losing the play space.
True.
That is counterproductive.
Makes sense.
And that is where we have to come together, and our policy makers have to really give that space, because for a child, play is a natural thing. And if there is no space, they can't really move, they can't play, and it need to be at a secured, safe location.
And that's an integral part of everybody's life, I think. Not only child's, everybody's life.
That is where it should become one of the basics. It should be there, if anybody making a housing complex, dedicate playing space of certain portion. Yeah, like in school, there were guidelines that if you are making a school, you have to dedicate this percentage as play field, but that is also vanishing. They are building more buildings because they see more footfall of student, but then they forget without those playing facility, we are not developing the right individuals. Because
and that is not overall development. I guess that is just mental development and not physical.
absolutely. So you need to think of holistic development.
Makes sense.
And holistic development, we cannot be engineering in a closed classroom. No, it is outdoor. We need to go outdoor. We need to give them that space. They need to play. And that is where the children come out and they learn. And that is the opportunity we need to provide. That is our responsibility.
Makes sense. What do you think about ISL? Will it change the perception of Indian Janta? Ki, like we have something like IPL, but actually bigger than IPL. If you see the number of days and the time tenure.
No, of course it is. ISL is on its 10th season now, and what ISL has done for Indian football, we can only praise for the investment, for the the kind of changes we have seen in Indian football. So therefore, all has added value to Indian football, and we need to now see how we can grow further. Yeah. Yes, no doubt, this is the biggest league in India. Yeah. In terms of participation, in terms of the number of weeks, number of days, number of months.
Yeah.
And then the spread as well. Therefore, no doubt, it is the biggest league. Yeah, but yeah, some would say that commercially it is not big, but then we are going to reach there. Yeah, it has potential.
And not everything is money.
Yes, and that is important to also evaluate. Yeah, but what is important is we need to attract more investment into the game. Yeah, and therefore we need to see more clubs across India.
Right.
And good thing is many are aspiring to be part of Indian Super League, and because it is giving that value out, and therefore we will definitely work with our partner how everything can be improved so that we can really position ourselves as one of the best leagues in Asia.
Makes sense. FIFA is around the corner. What do you think about the World Cup? Like Indian team will also be participating, and a lot of people are hoping that we qualify and move into the qualifiers.
See, the next World Cup is in US, Mexico and Canada. That's in 2026, and the qualification will start from November. We are playing our first game against Kuwait, and the second game we play against Qatar in Odisha on 21st November, and then we play in March and then in June. So that 6 games we will play, and then if we are second in the group, we will qualify for our third round, and then we will have another maybe few games where we will be playing against the best. See, we are now our ranking is 19th in Asia, and we have to really consistently move up the ladder, and then we will be able to be when we are reach top 10 in Asia, and that is we are targeting to be by 26 and that is where really the game begins, because then we're going to challenge the top 10, how we can be top 4 in Asia by 2047, and in that road we'll definitely qualify for the World Cup if we were consistently moving up. Yeah, because we cannot say okay, we will qualify for World Cup just
Agreed.
It is not just a jump. We need to take one step at a time. We need to ensure that we are progressing with the right pace and with the right strategy there, and that is what we all are working. And therefore to qualify for the World Cup, it is not it's an end. how we are going to perform, how we are going to play football, how we are going to transform football, how we will be consistent throughout this journey. That's very important. And this is in the journey. Definitely we will cross the World Cup, definitely, no doubt. But most important is how we established India as a football playing country, and where we play a bigger role in the expansion of global football. And that is all we need to think. Therefore, World Cup is just one part.
True.
And our focus is on the whole transformational side.
Makes sense. I remember talking to late Novi Kapadia some time back. He was an amazing football commentator. And during our very long conversation, he very casually mentioned, you know what, there was a time when football was literally worshipped like anything. Like it was maybe a bigger sport than cricket. But what do you think went wrong? Like why did we had that kind of a shift? I know, like I'm not against cricket any which way, but I really feel that every sport should has its own fan following. And why did we lose that?
No, see, that is where the golden era has played big role, where football was number one. When India hosted Asian Games 51, we were the gold medalist. We played the Olympics, we were fourth of 56. And then, 62, we won again the gold in Asian Games. Then 1970 was where we were third. And then 70 onwards, we, slided. But see, that again, what that golden era demonstrated, that we had talent at that time. We still have the talent, and then we could be dominating Asia at that time, and then come to 80s and then 90s. We need to see that because the globalization, liberalization, and then Indian cricket winning the 83 World Cup. And then hockey also, was not, doing that great after the AstroTurf coming into the picture.
Right.
And then the cricket with all the satellite channel, and then the whole the branding, sponsorship, and the airtime really put a lot of financial strength to the game. And that was the phase we were really not dominating that space. The national team performance, or the progress, everything were lacking at that time, and we did not meet the expectation of the people.
Right.
And that is where we
The downfall
slided,
started.
and then other sport took position.
Not other sport, only one sport, I guess.
Yeah, so that is where we have to compete,
Right.
because the good thing is India's big it's a big country, it's like a continent, therefore 10-20 sports can survive in a bigger way.
Agreed.
And we have to keep working hard. We have to improve every aspect. It is not that we have everything is right. We have to really work hard to really improve and grow things. And that is how our strategic roadmap is prepared, so that we are handling things 360 degree and lift the game from every aspect and bring it to a level where we will shine, where we will make India proud, where we say that it will be an incredible sport for incredible India.
So cool. On that note, I guess this was an amazing conversation I had with you. I really hope your vision comes true, and बहुत जल्दी है, because then I'll actually interview you in a detailed format कि क्या हुआ और क्या change हुआ. And I really hope and I really wish all the best to the Indian football team. Like मेरा end statement ये होता है, let's kick it. Thank you very much, Shaji Prabhakaran.
No, pleasure speaking with you. Definitely, we have a good team, and our teamwork will demonstrate that we are reaching there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.